Alright, hello everybody. I am basically, I will give you the backstory on this basically. So this is not an exact replica, it's my own little version of my farm with, it's basically the squad's farm, but with my kind of more sheds, more bins, what looks closer to my house, almost my exact same windmill. It's all the kind of same things, my same Minneapolis, my same Alice over there. So basically, we own quite a few plots of land. Now, if I pull it up here, we obviously own all of this, which is just $1,000 for 1,000 acres, but it's mainly just the waterways and like some of the roads. I'm not gonna use any of this as like haying ground. Like this would be a great haying spot. I'm not gonna use it because I just kind of bought it because it's there. Honestly, not. I kind of bought it more because like this ground right here, that's all trees. Well, this isn't trees. I think this is trees. So I should be able to hay this. So like the spots that it's just kind of whatever. But mainly we own field 90, well, this big field 94, 93, 95, 96, 102, 100, and 97. We have about 85 grand. It is January 1st, year 4, because I was kind of taking this farm, making sure everything still works. And obviously, we still have a few things to work through with. And what I mean by that is soybeans over here. I was just making sure everything was working because I've had a few maps where like the snow didn't show up or whatever, and the soybeans for some reason they withered with another month to go, which I think makes no sense, but it doesn't really matter. Anyways, I'm gonna take you through a little farm tour. We're not really gonna do much today. We might sell a bit of corn because it's January 1st. We're just gonna say as like a money maker, so we can do whatever. We have 1,500 bushels of soybeans and 2,600 bushels of corn. Now we're probably gonna turn down the money a bit. We're probably gonna cut off a little bit of it, but I'll take you on a little equipment tour. So we have the JMF shop, which is just a nice little shop I like to have with our. Obviously, we have to have the old '69 Charger with 383 in her. She's a beaut, but she's pricey. We have a bucket along with our Alice Chalmers 185, which is just going to be our salt spreader, basically. That's why it has the duals on it. That's why it looks so good. Then we have three 30-foot Sukup grain bins with the horizontal augers. Then we have a Westfield auger with, it's a Westfield auger with the little auger that comes out. Then we have the Minneapolis Moline G750. We have a little shed just for storing, whatever herbicide, fertilizer, and seed we have. Then up here we have our, obviously, windmill. We have a small now the wheat field is ready to harvest. Whatever. We're not going to we'll just plow it all up. But we have a small field over here, and then we own that one. But we have two trucks. We have the Ford, I'm not sure what it is, probably Ford F350. It's probably an old 80s Ford F350 with the dump truck bed. And then we have the Ford F350, the 94, I believe. Ford F350. Then we have the nice, beautiful house, which is backwards, yes, but only so I could get the driveway that kind of came out the side here. Then we have a giant, big old harvest store, along with what used to be the main shop shed, but I've decided to change it to a bale shed as we have cows over here. We have these hay bales that we're just going to say have been here. We're basically just going to say these have been here for a while. We have a Farmall 806, I believe. Yeah, Farmall 806 with a Gale mixer. We have, excuse me, I believe we have, there's a couple issues there we'll fix. We have 25 cows, which is a mix of Holstein, Angus, and Brown Swiss. Then if you come along here, we have a 1243 corn header, which is a 12-row corn header, which is pretty big, but we have a pretty big combine, which I'll be showing you in a little bit. Then we have a John Deere 230, which is a 30-foot header. We have two hay wagons running on 1075 running gears. And then we have a Parker 4000 gravity wagon. And we have our silage pit and manure heap, which I don't really know how it works because I see a pile of manure out there. Then we have a Polish or whatever it is mower. I'm just gonna count it as a sickle bar. It doesn't really matter to me. We have a International harvester. It's an 18.5 foot. I don't know what number it is. I don't know if it has a number on it anywhere. Let's see. Yeah, there's still some soybeans in here. I gotta fix the 45 Vibrashank cultivator. Then we have a John Deere. I'm gonna say. I'm thinking it's 3950 maybe. Pole harvester, which we're gonna be running with that wagon, as kind of the forage wagons don't like to work. Then we have a 595 International manure spreader, full of manure still. I bought it full of manure, so it's staying full of manure. And there's obviously a big harvester again. And then you come into the main workshop. We have a John Deere 4960 power shift with a 630 disc. We have a John Deere 435, I'm gonna say. Yeah, 435 round baler. We have two DMI 400 grain wagons. Then we have a Chevrolet C60 with a V8 inner. We have obviously we have the big old John Deere hydrostatic turbo 8820. Then you come into our main shop here, our main cold storage shop. We have the John Deere 4955, which will mainly just be a wagon tractor if anything. We have the classic John Deere 5020. We have a John Deere 4020 with the 48 loader on it. We have an Oliver, I believe 1855. Yes, 1855 with the Great Bend 760 on it, loader. We have the Case International Cyclo 950 as our planter. We have the Bestway 1200 Ag Field Pro sprayer, the John Deere 348, the New Holland tedder rake, and the New Holland rake, both 258s. Excuse me. The International 4090, a 24-foot cultivator instead of the 20-foot, and basically that's all. Now, what we're kind of doing here, I'll fix that in a bit, but what I was planning on doing here with this farm, and we still have a little bit to fix up that I missed, and you know, with all the soybeans, they kind of messed with me. We still have some stuff to fix, but what I've kind of figured with this is that we'll do, you know, it's the year 2024, right? So we have, you know, if we go over to our tractors, we have all these brand new tractors. We still have older tractors. You know, we can get an 8870 or we can get a brand new 9R. You know what I mean? We have all these newer tractors and all the older tractors. We're just going to say this is Grandpa's old farm. He died a couple years back. We gained the farm. We came from, well, southern New York, all the way down here to somewhere in Iowa. And that's why, you know, there's still corn in the bins. But yet, there is corn in the bins, but we do have a hefty $200,000 debt. And I'm sure that will turn into more. Also, we have our little fuel tank back here and a couple hay bales. Now, we'll close that shed as it is freezing cold outside. And I believe we are going to go sell some corn. Oh, we do have a PJ trailer over there. But I believe we are going to sell some corn. I'll probably fix up the farm on my own time. You know, all this little soybeans. Oh, we do have a hayfield over here, by the way. This is all hay. Well, gonna be hay. But, like, these little patches of soybeans. Because what I did is, you know, the soybeans they were ready to harvest, and then for some reason they withered. So I set them back as ready to harvest. And this is a field that I'm on, so little splotches of soybeans popped up everywhere, so I had to fix it. And apparently I didn't fix it all too well. I missed a couple spots, and I will be fixing those. But let's sell some corn and try and hopefully get some of this debt paid off, if anything. Corn is selling for, we go to Growmart, 31.26, which is right over there, that bin site. I think we're going to sell about maybe 1,000, 2,000 bushels of corn. I'm not exactly sure yet. But we're gonna start up the good old C60. She's got the good old V8 in her. Put it in first gear. We gotta be careful with this. Now, I will be using third person, obviously, because the mirrors in this game are not the best. But I am not going to be using third person when it's like a scenario where I don't have to. Like, I will be using third person, but like if I'm running gravity wagons, I'm not going to be using third person. I think that's kind of a dumb little thing you could do. I don't get why you would want to, because you know it's more realistic without it. And this is farming simulator. You're playing a game purely about farming, so why have it unrealistic? At that point, just play some sort of cheap knockoff game. But that's not what we do around here. Ooh, she is screaming to get out of here. Now this is a little tight because I packed it for the winter, so it's a little tough to get out of. We're gonna hit a couple things, but hey, this truck's been through a lot more than a couple fender benders. She'll be fine. She's an oldie but a goldie, you know. Whew, that V8 is screaming. Alright, let's go put her in third gear and take her over to the grain bins. Now, I do like this mod. Obviously, we'll probably get a newer grain truck eventually, but right now we don't need it. But this one over here has the soybeans. This one has the corn. We're gonna sell the corn. So what we have to do is get the old Minneapolis Moline started up. Hopefully, it's actually let's buy a can of starting fluid. Spray some starting fluid in there, because she is going to need it. So, excuse me. Let's spray a little bit of starting fluid in there and see if she starts. Okay. Let's get up in the tractor. Let's see. Come on, baby. Come on. One more. Come on. There she goes. No diesel. See, like this I'll show, just to show the tractor. It's an awesome tractor. No diesel coming out of there. That's a little strange. Let's lift up this auger a bit so we don't smack into the bin. Let's pull her around. If I even can. I don't know if I'm that good at this game. I've only been playing this game for a little bit of time. Let's fold back this auger just so it'll turn correctly. Alright. Ooh, that's bad. What happened? Oh, it's because we folded up the auger. That's what happened right there. Okay, let's turn it around. Now, I think we can just put this, just slide it all the way under. We don't even have to have the tractor facing forward or anything, because usually I'd go in through over there, but really I don't think we need it. I think this tractor, this auger will just barely reach it. I guess we're gonna have to. We're gonna get stuck in between these grain bins if we don't. I'm gonna try not to scrape up against them, but no, don't really matter much. I think we pull this sideways if we don't break it. Lord forbid. You know, I am starting on a steering wheel, but you know, playing one of these games, I used to play back in 17, 19. I never had a steering wheel, so it's all new to me. I mean, I'm not new to steering wheels, but I'm new to these cheap ones. It's real cheap. Now, let's see if it gives us the start filling. It does not do that, but maybe it will once we have a truck. Okay, so let's go run over to the good old C60. Let's pull her. That's a bit tall, but honestly, I don't think it matters much. Let's pull out the good old menu, see if we're under there, because I cannot see anything. I cannot tell anything from this high up. Normally you wouldn't have it this high up, but also you wouldn't have this big of an auger for such a small tractor. and for, you know, not needing it with all these smaller bins. Let's pull the truck under there. See what she does. See if she says anything. Because then I can know that it is 100% under that auger, and it's not the auger. This thing's got some speed. No, I believe it is this. So we might have to buy another auger, which I don't want to do. But, you know, if we have to, we have to. It'd be nice if this thing would lower just a bit more. But I'm thinking, very sadly, I think we have to go put the auger away and buy one of these new, newer ones, or not newer, but one that can at least unload. I'm thinking this, I think this one right here, the TL1239. It's a bit newer. I don't think that will fit. That's my only problem there. I need like an old one that doesn't have a guard like this. This would be nice, but it's too long for what we need. This would also be nice, but it's not angled enough. Maybe this one will have to do. Ooh. This one works perfect. 19.5. She's pricey. Okay, 19.5. Well, let's put this auger away. And well, let's go grab our go grab the truck with the PJ. Probably sell one load of corn today. And, you know, in the next video we'll probably sell the rest of the corn. Probably get that all settled with. And I guess I'm not against, you know, the first video being an hour long or whatever, but I don't think you guys want to watch something like that. So, you know, I'm going to try and keep my videos, you know, 20, 25 minutes. So, I don't want, you know, I'm giving you this the first time to my channel, but I don't want, you know, 8-minute videos, and I don't want 2-hour long videos, unless it's a video that's worth being 2 hours long. You know, unless it's like, unless it's like 2 years worth of gameplay, then yeah, it can be 2 hours long with a ton of cuts in it. But, you know, I don't want to be in that long. I'm not planning on needing something that long, and I'm guessing you guys don't want something that long. So let's go put away the tractor. Now, this is one thing I have not thought about yet, is where will the tractor go? The Minneapolis Moline will be strictly our auger tractor, so I don't think it needs to go in the big shed, but I can't think of another place for it. We could throw it under there, but I don't think that's, you know, I don't think that's gonna work for us. I think we just shove it. We forgot to close that door. No, we might just shove it in there for right now. We'll just leave the. Oh, that grain truck's a classic. We'll just shove it in here, right in front of the door. Just so we don't have to. Just so we don't have to worry about it getting all rusty. But you never know. It could get rusty. It could, you know, we could lose a bearing or something like that because it got all frozen and then got too heated, just cracked right in half. I've had that happen on, you know, a couple of my tractors, you know, and I will be telling you across this entire, you know, this entire series, just the entire, really, you know, my entire channel. I will be telling you guys, you know, real life stories that happened on my southern farm. Now, up in New York, we just harvest corn and soybeans. But, you know, we're doing good for ourselves. But we also run a farm kind of like this. It's actually, you can see a picture of it from about 10 years ago. If you go look at our, let's go shut off this truck. If you go look at my channel page, you look at the little banner. That would be our farm from, I'm going to say that's 2011, 2010. I'm going to say it's 2011 when we first bought, well, when I first bought the farm. Oof, that is a loud truck. I I'm going to actually turn down the game volume a bit, because that is, you know, ear hurting. That's what that is. That will hurt your ears. Let me see if I can figure this out. There we go. Vehicle volume. That's still loud. That's better. So, basically, we have an asphalt path here that leads into a dirt path to take the trucks on if you need to go get the PJ, or, you know, if you have to get whatever. And I'm not too against the path. I think, you know, it could definitely be fixed, but right now, with how much money we have, I don't think it's a big, I don't think we have to worry about it. Let me actually shut this door as well, because I do not want that charger. Here's our little toolbox here. I do not want that charger getting all cold. I want it. It does have a cold air intake, I believe. It's not my car. It was my father's. My grandfather gave it to my father, and well, he gave it to me. He's out in Nebraska, actually, working for a concrete plant. Now, I would not. He's looking to start his own concrete business, and I don't really care too much for you know, that kind of work that I'm not gonna get paid good for. You know, if I'm, you know, he's looking to start a business, which he'll get paid good for. But if I'm just out there working, I don't want to get all that hassle and trouble of, you know, having to work concrete. I mean, that stuff breaks your back because you're just on your knees all day smoothing it out. And that kind of reminds me of a story back when we were building a shed. We were building the shed along with the Amish, so we had to, you know, get all the concrete put in there because they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to do all the concrete work, so we said we would. They said they would do it if we paid them like an extra $5,000, and we said no can do. So what we did is we bought our own, what are them things called? The things that smooth them out, you know, the pavers or whatever. We bought is this the right way to the shop? Yes, it is. We bought ourselves a couple of them, and, you know, we paved out that entire garage. I mean, man, that stuff, that was back breaking. You know, you'd finish paving it. You'd finish like paving a 5-foot by 5-foot section. I mean, it was a big shed as well. I think probably 200 by 90 shed. You know, you'd finish. We just put it out in the field, but, you know, you'd finish paving it, and your back would be gone. You know, dude, the sleep after that was just fantastic. You know, I don't understand how concrete people, especially people that, you know, can live their entire life doing that. I don't understand that. I'm not, you know, I've lived my entire life as a farmer. You know, my dad, well, my great-grandpa, my grandpa, my father, and then me now. It's a 4th generation farm, technically. It's a good old farm, you know, because you know, how the farm kind of works is, you know, my dad's 60. But how the farm kind of works is, you know, or how our farm kind of worked is, you would go until, sorry, I'm speeding. You would go until you're 60 years old, and then you'd pass it off. That's why it's only a 4th generation farm, is because, I mean, my grandpa, I think he passed it off when he was 80, which, that is a lot of time. But let's just pull over into this dealer here, see what they got. Nice old Steiger over there. Got an old mower, not old, but they got a mower. I'm thinking about getting a semi. I don't think we need one right now, though. We don't have that much grain. I mean, we're only running probably 150 acres. I don't really think we need that much grain for what we're doing. Okay, now this thing has an engine, so it should be able to get up on the trailer. But, you know, we'll see. Now, these mirrors are actually not too bad. These mirrors I think I might be able to actually use. I don't entirely know, but I might be able to use these mirrors. Normally the in-game mirrors suck, but these might just be good enough that I can actually use them. We'll see. Okay, that should be about perfect right there. How far are we from that? I can't tell. I was gonna say we put it right there. We just leave her. Unfold the ramps. Okay. Ooh, we were right on that. Right on the money, I guess. Alright, yeah, so this is a little bit unrealistic. Okay. I'm going to use one thing. Now we do have lumberjack. It is an unrealistic mod, I guess, but I don't count it as unrealistic. Are we gonna have enough power to get up here? Yeah, I thought so. You know what? Redneck science. Actually, here, give me a minute. I'll maneuver this thing up here. Don't you even worry about a thing. You know, I've got this, I think. Hopefully, I mean, I might not, but here we go. We're just gonna try and push it really hard. This thing's heavy. Might have to go get that forklift like I was talking about. Let's try again. Yeah, let's go get the forklift. Let's here, give me a second. Let me give me a second. Still kind of figuring it. Alright, I've stolen their forklift here, which might get us arrested, but we'll see. I don't know if this is, you know, a little unrealistic. I mean, usually you load up an auger with either I mean, it's working. Barely, I guess. It is working. You can actually lift it with this here. Really, we just gotta get it on there. I was thinking of picking up by the forks, but oh, be careful. Oh, you know what? We're still gonna try and pick it up by the forks. Just see what happens. Jeez, that is a dangerous job, but it's the life of working, man. Okay, this forklift does indeed suck. It is electric though, so what do you expect? So I'm just gonna try and pick up this wheel. And, see if this thing has enough power to even lift it. Pick up this wheel. I'm just gonna drive on forward. Just push it over just a bit. Now I'm thinking that's enough, because it's on the trailer. Now we just strap it down and fold up the fan. Well, we'll fold up the ramps first. I should push it up a bit. Don't fall off. Oh, it's gonna fall off. We'll just strap it down. Really, it's, you know, unsafe, but hey, I haven't seen much DOT around here. We should be fine. Though that does remind me of one story back in it was 2018. Right when I was getting into corn harvest. Actually, it was fall of 2018. I had bought in a old combine, not for harvest rise. You know, we run a bigger combine that newer, but we just wanted to have it as kind of a lawn ornament. So we had bought it for cheap at an auction, because it was a piece of junk. It was all rusty, nothing good about it. No one wanted it, right? But we bought it for, I say it was $6 grand for a 6620. So we had bought it. I'm just gonna drive back to the farm now, but we had bought it for about $6 grand, I'm gonna say. And it was a beautiful thing, as to me at least. I thought it was a beautiful thing, and I put it as a lawn ornament. And I was like, all right, well, before I put it as a lawn ornament, I had to ship it there, right? They said it was 10 grand for shipping. I said, no, it's not. So I took my 20-foot PJ trailer, right, and I had basically, because this thing was going to be a lawn ornament, it wasn't going to stay, so I had done the dumbest thing possible, right? My PJ is exceptionally, what's the word? It's not wide. It's the opposite of wide, right? It's like 6 feet, 10 feet wide. Something like that. 20-foot PJ, but it's custom. I had it custom built at a shop. And so basically, what ended up happening is we had taken a big, old, but big, one of my neighbors' 8770s, I think it was, either 8770 or 8970, and just, it had a custom mounted, like, leveler, I guess you could call it, like a plow, to plow snow and to push his silage. So he had taken that tractor, and, you know, we asked him for help. He said, yeah. He had taken the tractor and just pushed the combine on there. So it was just sitting on its, I don't really think it had much of a, guard on the bottom, you know, much of a skid plate, but we didn't care. It was a cheap combine. We just threw it on there and just kind of pushed it on. You just hear screeching all the way through. It did not sound good, but we still did it. And, you know, our farm's 10 miles from there. 10 miles from the auction that we bought it at. The auction barn that we bought it at. And let me tell you how scary it was driving a F350, just like this one, but a 2008 F350 dually, right? But you're pulling it with a 20-foot gooseneck trailer. I mean, that thing was way overloaded, right? I actually am pretty sure one of the axles snapped, or at least cracked, because the second we pushed that combine on there, you started hearing cracking all the way through. So I haven't checked it, actually. I haven't really cared, because we don't haul much big stuff. It's mainly just our trailer to put wood on, because we do a little bit of logging. So it's mainly just our trailer to put firewood on. But we had just, you know, kind of pushed it on there, and, you know, we still have it to this day. We still have that combine. And let me tell you, it is ugly, but at the same time, it's just so beautiful. It's its own thing, I guess you could say. It's beautiful and ugly at the same time, but hey, it was cheap, and it's a classic. So, what am I to argue with it? Cheap classic, man, I would buy 1,000,000 of those, you know, but I'd buy 1,000,000 of those combines. Those combines are actually pretty good, but they're just not worth it anymore, you know, nowadays especially. I mean, you can get you know, a newer one of those combines for probably cheaper, I would assume. I mean, I don't know where, but you could probably find one. I'm thinking that's gotta be in there. I'm thinking that's in there. That's gotta be. Let's move the truck. We'll just leave the trailer on it. Let's go put it over here. We'll leave the trailer on it. We're gonna be pulling. We're probably just gonna be, let me turn around this way. So let's pull the truck kind of to the side more. Okay, let's just turn off the engine. Okay, put the keys in my pocket. And basically, now this is the Wozniak Farms. But this farm reminds me a lot of my neighbor's farm, actually. Mr. Brown is what we call him. So we're going to call this the Brown Farms, because this farm is actually pretty identical to his farm. Now, the only thing is it has, you know, suck-up bins like we have. And it has a couple shops that are more like ours. But, you know, it's so minute. It's, you know, unbelievable. I mean, he has, like, almost that exact same cattle you know, whatever you want to call it. He has almost the exact same barn. He has a lot of the same stuff. Now his is, I'll admit, a little bit nicer than ours. But, you know, what can a man ask for? Now, if this does not work, I am going to be mad. Because this should just work right fine. It literally says it's 4 unloading augers. So the problem we might have here is having to lower. Actually, yeah, we'll just do that. We're just going to lower it a teeny bit. Oh, we have our things left open. Just going to soften it right here. Just so you can fit a thing in there, hopefully. I'm thinking. Now it should just slide under. No, not yet. I think I'm gonna have to lower it, like actually, like put it on a really small and very weak scale, and just lower it. Lower, lower. Not doing anything. I don't know if that did anything. I don't know if that actually did anything. Well, that kind of sucks. That did nothing. Let me try closing the gate here. So you can't load it anymore. Maybe that's... Oh, that's why it wouldn't... Okay. Well, let's fix up the grass around here, which... Landscaping, I will tell you, we are going to... Now, I will not be cheating in money for any of this. Absolutely any of it. Landscaping, we will be cheating in money. I wouldn't really call it cheating in, because, I mean, dude, I'm using grass, and I'm probably using about $1,000 just in grass, which doesn't... It's not realistic. You know, grass seed, even if you just bought grass seed, would not be that much. Okay, so we're going to load up corn. We're gonna see how much this thing holds. Hoping a lot. It looks like it's gonna hold a decent amount. Now, I was originally gonna use that dump truck over there, but that thing's too tiny. But we're gonna take one load, and then we will end off the video. So we're gonna take the scenic route instead of going through our fields and doing all that. But I haven't actually taken a look around this map. I've not sold any grain. I've not done any of that. Whew, this thing's wanted a tip. It's all the weight in it. I've not looked around this map at all. I've just picked a field that was big enough to fit our stuff, and it was kind of close to the grain market over here. Now, over here, we do have quite a bit of, there's corn and a lot of good land. Now, I want to buy either those 3 fields or this field. Now, obviously, our equipment will take a little while to, you know, be able to get everything all taken through, but, you know, whatever. It's an expensive piece of land anyway, so maybe we'll have better equipment. I am looking towards buying maybe a 4-wheel drive, but I haven't quite decided on it yet, because that's going to be expensive, along with a plow we would have to get, and probably a bigger planter or a different tractor for a planter tractor, instead of just having whatever tractor has the most horsepower as our planter tractor and our plow tractor. Actually, they're both the same. But we're just going to see how much money we get from this. One load of about 468 bushels, because we have about, let's say, 8 loads, I'm thinking. I'm not really that good at math, but, you know, even cowboy math, I'm thinking we have about 7-8 loads. Maybe 6. Okay. Start tipping it back, and the money is raking in. Now, we do have a lot of soybeans as well, so hopefully that will also get us quite a bit of money. But I'm thinking we're going to get about 10 grand a load. So about 11 grand, which we have about 7 or 8 loads of that. So we're thinking about 80 grand, I'm thinking. Maybe 90 grand if we're lucky. But I'm thinking about 80 grand, which is pretty good for only harvesting. I think we only harvest about, I would say, we only harvest a couple, I'd say about 100 acres, 150 acres. which is quite a small operation compared to what I'm used to, but this game makes even a small, 4 acres seem massive. But now it's either those fields across the road we're going to buy, one of those fields, or maybe that big field, or these. These are also a really nice field I want to buy. It would be this field and that field together. A nice big old would turn it into soybean field. A nice big old soybean field. Have a ton of soybeans and then turn the rest into kind of corn and that. But as long as we don't tip this, I think we're gonna have a good year. Is the very start of the year, January 1st. There are 3-day months. But I think we're gonna start plowing after we sell the corn. So it'll probably be about January 2nd, maybe January 3rd. We'll sell the corn, get ready to start plowing, and we'll start plowing. Now, I am going to say I will be mostly cutting out all the hired worker stuff. Now, as that may tell you, I'm not going to be playing with anyone, no collabs, no nothing. It will just be me, single player. So if I'm harvesting, I obviously have to have someone on the harvester as a hired worker. So I will not be cutting those out. I'll have, once, a couple, filling up the, grain wagons, maybe running the harvester for a little bit. But I will be cutting out, most of the plowing that they might be doing, or most of the planning. I might buy a second planter. I'm thinking about a John Deere 71 Flex. But I will probably be cutting most of that out and only having a couple clips of it here and there in the videos. But, what can I do? It's just the life out here. It's just the life. But, yeah. I think that we will end off the video right about here. I'm thinking about getting rid of that mod, but I'm thinking we're going to end off the video right about here. And yeah, have a good day, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Goodbye.